Alright, so I'm going to be attempting to repair the fan on this Lenovo Yoga C740-15IML. This is model 81TD. Alright, sorry, it's really hard to read this label here. Anyways, first thing we're going to do is get a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. Alright, so let's go ahead and get that. And we're going to remove all the screws from the bottom. So you're going to want to keep the screws in order because they are different size, shape, and length. The way I do that, I put the flat side down on the table in the pattern that I remove them. So they're in this rectangular pattern. So we're just going to go ahead and remove the screws and put them in that rectangular pattern. Alright, you can put the screws however you want. Just try and keep them in order. Again, they are different size, shape, and lengths. This goes for the entire computer, not just for the bottom case. Alright. It's a very useful tip because sometimes people will mix things up. As you can see, this screw is much shorter than the other ones. Okay, and if you put the wrong screw in the wrong spot, you can actually damage your computer. So if you were to put the long screw here, you can actually push the screw all the way through the case and you can damage things. Right, looks like the screws at the bottom are also short. Okay. If this video helps you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share my channel with others so that they can also learn how to upgrade and repair their computers. If this video helps you save a ton of money, please consider contributing a little bit to the channel so that I can continue doing this for a living. Alright, these are customer computers and I work on them as they come. That's how I make all these videos, and as I make more and more videos, I actually end up getting less and less business because people learn how to fix them, of course. So anyways, now we're going to pull this cover up. I'm using a suction cup. You can also use like 2 pieces of tape that you just put down and then have them meet at the middle, and you can use that as a pull tab. So if you don't have a suction cup, that's one method. Alright, so we're just pulling the cover up here. Alright, there are a bunch of clips inside, so it's a little bit tough to kind of lift this. As you can see, it went up. For some reason the center here doesn't want to come out. I don't remember the other one I worked on being this difficult, but anyways, let's go ahead and go down the side now. Okay, so we're gonna get that. Okay, let's go ahead and go on the other side. I'm just using my fingernails to lift this up here, okay, while I push down on the other side like this. Okay, so we're just gonna work our way over. And then there's also the one key recovery here, like on the other model. If you press this, you don't need to take the computer apart, but you can use a needle or a little push pin or paper clip to get into the recovery menu or the BIOS boot options and things like that. Alright, so now we got all these clips out. I don't know why the center clip for some reason is holding really strong here. Doesn't seem to want to come out. Let's try and wiggle this. There we go. Alright, so now that we got those clips all out, most likely we have to pull this cover this way. Alright, yep. And we're going to kind of just wiggle this as we kind of lift it, just like that. There we go. So we got the bottom cover off. Here's the middle clip that was being stubborn. Alright, this model looks a little bit different than the one I was working on earlier. Oh, there's actually 2 fans in this one. So, wow, this fan is like stuck in there. Okay, so this fan is okay, as you can see, but this fan, it's like kind of stuck. So anyways, I'm going to get a toothbrush, I'm going to brush out the dust, and then I'm going to use my electric blower and clean that out. Alright, and I'll be back. Alright, see you guys in a bit. Alright, I'm back. So I cleaned out the dust here. Alright, I'm going to set the cover aside. Alright, so I'm going to avoid having to take everything apart unless I have to. So first thing we're going to do is remove the battery. So this model looks very similar to the other one that I just worked on earlier that had a beer spill. It is a bit different though. So this looks like a bigger model, actually, like a 15-inch, I think. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and remove the screws for the battery. The battery model number is L18D3PF2. So if you need the battery, that's what it is. Alright, so we got one screw there, we got one screw down here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oops. Sorry. Alright. Got another screw over here. And one more screw up here. Okay. Oh, we have one other screw. So, alright, we got one more screw all the way up here. Whoa. Why is the fan starting itself? I thought I shut it down. Okay, let's make sure we turn off the computer. So as you can see, the fan on here is bad. I don't know if you heard that screeching sound. The customer was telling me it sounds like a boiling kettle. Alright, so I don't understand what's happening. The computer is off. Let me turn it on and then make sure to shut it down properly. Okay. Let it start up all the way. But here you can hear the fan is trying to spin around and it's making that screechy sound. Alright, so let's just shut this down. Alright, I don't know why it turned itself back on. It was shut down, so I need to make sure it's completely off. So here you can see this fan is terrible. I don't know why it's doing that. It was pretty dusty, but I don't think that's what's making it spin like that. So it's most likely the grease is bad in here. Okay, here you can see how nice this fan spins, but then this fan's kind of gunky. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and remove the battery. So we got all those screws out. Let's see here, we can lift the battery up. Okay, now we're going to swing this down. There's this little metal latch that's kind of somewhat holding it. There we go. And then we're going to pull the connector for the battery out. Let me zoom in to show you how this is done. So just grab as close to the connector as you can, and then you kind of just wiggle it as you slowly pull. You don't want to pull too hard, just kind of wiggle, and it eventually walks out just like that. Alright, so there's the battery. Okay, we're going to set that aside. Alright, there's an M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD right here. If you want to remove it, there's one screw. It pops out. You can pull it up and then pull it back. Alright, there's the keyboard connector, keyboard backlight connector. All of these have these little latches. The latch is on this side here, latch on this side here. Trackpad connector here. Let me actually zoom out a little bit to show this better. Alright, then you got this cable that goes all the way to this USB board with the power button. Okay, you got the fingerprint sensor cable that goes to that board as well. Speaker runs along here all the way along the bottom, and then it plugs in up here. Right, you got this connector here for the headphone jack or audio jack here, and it plugs in as well. So this laptop's pretty nice. Most of the stuff is removable. The RAM is soldered to the board underneath this metal cover. If you want to see what that looks like, watch the video that I uploaded a day or two ago. Pretty much similar model. Right, LCD LVDS connector. If you're going to mess with this, make sure after disconnecting the battery, all right, you want to open up the computer, and then we're going to press and hold the power button on the side here. So you want to hold this button down for about 15 seconds. That will drain the power from the capacitors, and it'll make it a lot safer to work on. So I'm going to hold this just to be safe, since I'm going to be removing the fan assembly. All right. For the SSD and things like that, you don't even need to disconnect the battery. So, but if you want to be extra safe, disconnect the battery, hold the power button. All right. You also got the BIOS or Cmos battery here. All of it's connected to this one board. So if you need to replace, you can easily replace that. The only thing is these USB-C ports are connected to the motherboard. So if for some reason your computer's not charging, you're going to have to find someone that can either solder new USB-C ports in there or replace the whole logic board. All right, wireless card, just like every other model, you just pull up the antennas from the tails, it'll pop out, and then just line it back up to pop them back in. Same thing, one screw, it pops out just like the M.2 SSD. All right, again, I'm not gonna pop everything out because the main thing is we just need to fix the fans here. So because it's likely going to be easier for me to, I don't know if his thing was overheating or not. Actually, okay, it's gonna be easier for me to actually redo the, or to pull the entire motherboard out, I think. Actually, I don't want to void his warranty with the warranty sticker, so there's a warranty sticker covering one screw here. So I'm actually going to just redo the thermal paste. Let's go ahead and just pull the whole heatsink out. I hope I can pull it out that way without having to take the whole motherboard out. Okay, so here you can see, you can lift this. So we're gonna take out the heatsink here. So the other one I showed how to remove the complete motherboard, okay? So if you want to see how to remove the motherboard, you can watch the video again that I did a day or two ago. It's basically the same exact thing. There might be a few extra connections here. Let me see. What's this? Okay, we got the fan connector. Oh yeah, because this has two fans. So we have a extra fan connector here. There's a white one there, and then there's a black connector there. So I'm gonna put a marking here just so I know which is which. All right, because they didn't mark this. So I'm gonna mark this here since this one's all black. I'm just gonna put a line there so I know that that one should have the black connector there. All right, so now we're going to, this Cmos battery is somewhat in the way, so maybe I'm gonna pull it up. Okay, it's just held in with a double stick adhesive. I'm just slowly pulling it out. Okay, there we go. Here you can see the double stick tape that was on it. I'm gonna just move this out of the way. All right, now we're going to pull these connectors out. So these connectors are really tiny and the wires are very thin and fragile. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna use some small pliers like this, and I'm just gonna grab the connector itself. You can actually, actually this one has little wings on it that you can grab this little connector, and you can kind of just wiggle it as you pull it. All right, just like that, and it pops out. All right, if you can't do that, again, you can use some little pliers or something. So I'm going to do the same thing with the black one if I can. Basically just use your fingernails, and then you can kind of pinch the little wings of that connector and wiggle it to pull it back. So there we go, got it like that. All right, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to, I didn't need to use the pliers, so I'm going to set those away. All right, now we're going to remove the 3 screws here holding the heatsink down. Okay. All right, keep all these screws in order because they are different size, shape, and lengths. I think these screws are actually holding themselves into place, so I think we just have to unscrew them. All right, so I'm using a PH1 or JAS1 screwdriver for all these screws that are inside the laptop. Yeah, those screws stay in place. All right, let's zoom out. So I think we got the heatsink out, so let's see if we can go ahead and lift this. All right, so we're gonna lift this slightly and then pull this back. And there we go, we got the entire fan out. So I don't know why they didn't put any paste on there, but they don't have any opening for that. So I guess this is the only part that gets the cooling, which is kind of weird. All right, I'm just gonna use a paper towel and wipe this stuff, the old paste off. Okay. And try and keep it all within the copper area because I don't want to get the black plastic stuff all covered with the old thermal paste. If I can help it. This plastic stuff has like little lines, tears in it. That's kind of interesting. All right, well, anyways, let's go ahead and continue cleaning this up. Okay, you want to be careful not to bend this copper heat pipe because then that can damage the cooling. Okay, so we're just going to clean that. I'm going to use some rubbing alcohol later and clean it better, but for now we're just going to clean it a little bit so it doesn't get on anything. All right, I'm going to clean both sides. So this paste actually did somewhat harden, so it's actually good that we're cleaning this up because that means that this paste needs to be replaced. Okay, so alright, I'm going to flip this over so I can clean it better. I'm just using a toothbrush off camera, sorry. Okay, so I just use a toothbrush to kind of clean that up. Alright, now I'm going to use a little rubbing alcohol here. Right, just spray it on the paper towel, and then we're going to use that to clean this up. There we go, use the dry side, dry it off. Use the air blower. There we go. All right, we're gonna set this aside for now. Let's go ahead and clean off the heatsink on this side as well. Okay, just using the rubbing alcohol and paper towel, and there you go. See how gross that is? So we cleaned that all off. All right, then we're gonna dry it up. Make sure if you're doing this that you have thermal paste to reapply because you can't use the computer without putting the thermal paste or it's just going to overheat itself, all right? That's very important. Let me see if I can unfold this piece that's kind of folding over a little bit. Nope, not really. Oh, that's better. Okay. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to try and see if we can remove the fans. So there's this little adhesive that goes across here that it looks like we might have to remove that. And then we also have these tiny screws. So we're going to switch to a PH0 or JAS0 screwdriver. Let me zoom in a bit. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and remove the screws there. So we got one screw over here. It's a little bit hard to see with this lighting and this angle. but just go ahead and remove all these screws. All right, there's a second one lower. Okay, let's see here. We've got those two. We got another one down here. All right, another one up here. All right, then we got another screw here. There are 6 screws in total, and one less screw down here. Okay, now that we got those 6 screws out, let's see if we can lift the fan up. All right, I have to check, make sure that these cables aren't going to prevent me from pulling this out. So I'm gonna try and lift here. Oh, I missed one screw. Sorry, there's another one down here. So there's actually 7 screws in this thing. Move this one slightly over. Okay, so there's actually 7 screws in here. All right, now let's see if we can lift this. Did I miss any other screws? It looks like we got them all. Okay, so now you can see this plastic is separating from this metal piece. All right, but most likely we're gonna have to peel this tape thing off here. So I'm gonna use this and we're gonna try and peel this tape up, okay? So we're just gonna get underneath this adhesive strip here. It might be easier to do this with my other scraping tool, but well, I'm just gonna pry up a little bit and then I'm gonna use my fingernails to grab that and peel this back. Here you go. Okay, so we're gonna peel this all up. So here you can see all this adhesive is sticking on there. I'm hoping I won't have to completely take it out. There we go. Yep, so once you just get this one edge back, you can actually fold this over just like this. Right here you can see, even though I blew this out with an electric air blower, there's still a lot of dust in there, so I'm gonna have to clean that out with a toothbrush, okay? And yeah, so let me do that. I'm just gonna get a toothbrush over the trash can and brush this off. All right, I'm gonna do this off to the side, so I'll pause the video and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So I cleaned off this copper area and then cleaned that off. Now let's see here. So this fan you can see spins okay, and this fan is kind of somewhat stuck. So hopefully we can pull this fan propeller off. Oh no, it doesn't look like it's designed in a way to fix. So I don't know. Let me try with my fan blade removal tool that I made. I don't know if this is going to work because this fan propeller is much smaller than I'm used to working on. So let's try and get this tool in there. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. This tool is too big for this job. Well, okay, I'm going to slowly turn this. Slowly turn this. Okay, it's slowly lifting the propellers up. Hopefully this will work. Okay, I don't know. Then I'm gonna have to try and get it in on the other side. Wow, this propeller, I don't know, it's super stuck in there. Okay, let's see, let's get this shorter one. So I'm gonna try and get this in there. Okay, so we're just slowly inserting this tool in here. This tool, I made it where it kind of is sloped at the teeth, so it kind of raises up the thing as I get the tool in. So let's see if I can get the tool closer towards the center now. Okay, let's try and use the bigger one now. Okay, and we're going to continue rotating this. I don't know if this is going to work. It looks like it's just going to get stuck, but we'll find out. Okay, we're slowly getting this tool underneath the fan to try and lift the propellers up. Oh, I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. Come on. Looks like it's pushing on the propellers themselves. I'm trying to get underneath. Okay, let's rotate this some more. Okay, come on. I'm just trying to get this tool under here. Yeah, I don't think it's working. So I'm trying to pop up the entire fan propellers here. Let's see if I can pull this up. Wow, that thing's not coming up at all. Oops, snap that off. Come on. So I'm trying to get underneath the fan propeller blades here. And hopefully it will apply enough pressure that we can pop the fan propeller blades off, but it doesn't look like it. Come on. Ugh. Nope, I don't think that's working. Oh no, that actually messed up that fan propeller blade. So I think I'm gonna have to use the drill method, because it looks like this, it just bent those propeller blades. So I'm gonna have to try and bend them back down a little bit. Okay, let me try and bend these back. Oops. Looks like we're gonna have to actually replace the fans on this one, because this one, the propeller blades don't want to come out. All right, there we go. But yeah, all right, let me try and clean this up a little bit. Okay, so these propeller blades don't want to come out at all. So it looks like, yeah, nope, there's no way. I was hoping these propeller blades would just come out, but it looks like not. Let's see if we can use the drill method on here. If not, we're gonna have to order replacement fan. So the replacement fan model number is right here. I don't know if you can read that. There you go. DFS1507053H0T. All right. So I'm gonna see if I can add some grease from the bottom here by drilling a hole, and no, we cannot. This is metal. I mean, I can probably drill through the metal, but yeah, no. I don't know how we're going to fix this fan. This fan is not one of those repairable types. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Let's go ahead and try getting this in again. But it looks like we're not going to be able to fix this one. Yeah, I don't think we can get these propellers out. They're stuck in there real good. So I'm gonna have to contact the customer, let them know that we most likely have to replace this entire fan assembly. I'm gonna see if I can find a replacement of this fan. But if not, I'm not sure what we're gonna do here, because it doesn't look like these propellers want to come out at all. All right, so yep, I'll be back, gonna contact them, and I'll see you in a bit. All right, looks like we got no choice, so we are going to have to try and rip out the fan. Otherwise, we need to buy a replacement fan. I checked on Amazon, and a replacement fan is about $35 plus tax, so we're going to try and see if we can just rip the fan out, and if not, then we have to replace it anyways. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're just getting under here. I'm going to use this thinner pry tool and see if I can get underneath this way. Let's see if we can try and lift it from both sides using this. Okay, so I'm going to try and let's try and rotate the fan propeller blade so I can get the tool on matching sides. Okay, let's go ahead and try and rotate this. Worst case, I'm going to leave that fan disconnected so that it can be used. It'll just run at higher RPMs on the other fan. All right, sorry, I'm going out of view. Let me zoom out a bit. So, no, this thing doesn't want to turn for some reason. Come on, keep turning. There we go. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and see if we can get this pry tool under there. I'm going to clean, let me get this old adhesive from the MacBook I was working on off. Okay, let's try and get this under here. Let's see, can we lift this up somehow? Pull this and see if we can pop that out. I don't think it's gonna pop out. Nope. Wow, no, the propeller's just getting destroyed. Okay, so nope, there's no way. All right, the propeller's just getting destroyed. So let me try one last thing. All right, let me pause this and I'll be back. Actually, here. Oops. All right, let's try getting the tool on this side here. Oh no, that's not gonna work. I can't reach that far. Another tool there. Let's see if we can somehow pop this up. Nope. You can see it's actually bending the metal out. So this is the worst fan design. There's no way we can't even fix that fan. All right, so we're just gonna not connect this fan. So this one is the white wire. So we're just not gonna plug in the white and fan wire. Okay, let's go ahead and put the fan back together. For now, we're gonna leave that disconnected. We're gonna replace this, okay? And then we're just gonna do it that way. So let's go ahead and stick all this adhesive back down. Just like that. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this back over. All right, just like that. And let's go ahead and get these screws back in. Okay, so that kind of sucks. This is the worst design of a fan that could possibly be made in terms of repairability. Okay. They give you hope by letting you take it apart and separate it from the heatsink. I mean, at least you can separate it from the heatsink so that we can buy a replacement and then swap it. But as far as any chance of fixing this fan, there's like zero chance. Can't pull the propeller blades off. Can't drill through the bottom. All right. This sucks. And then I'm gonna have to do the thermal paste twice, it seems. All right. But anyways, this is the only video that I'm gonna show for you guys. The replacement fan is basically the same thing. You just separate the adhesive, the tape, and then you just put the new fans in. So it's actually very easy to replace the fans on here. Kind of sucks that they make you have to take the heatsink out to do it, but it is what it is. All right, getting more calls. All right, I think I have a customer outside waiting to pick up their computer, so actually let me shut this off. All right, so I'll be back. I'm gonna return the computer to the customer, and yeah, we're basically gonna reassemble this, put some new thermal paste, and we'll go from there. All right, see you guys in a bit. All right, so let's reassemble this thing. Okay. Get this computer back over. All right, so we're gonna be redoing the thermal paste here and then reassembling this thing. All right, so let's zoom in a bit. So the CPU is right here. We're gonna be putting about the size of a grain of rice along there. Okay, just like that. All right, that's actually more than enough. So this thing is gonna spread out really flat. Okay. So I'm gonna have to end up doing this a second time because the customer needs their computer. And yeah, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it back together and we're going to leave the noisy fan, the broken fan, disconnected. Okay, so that's how we're gonna do it. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out here. So we're gonna remove this. Again, we're gonna leave the noisy fan disconnected, which on this one, that's this fan. Okay, so this fan, as you can see, is perfectly fine. This fan is really bad. So that is the white connector. So the black connector, we're gonna reconnect. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this back in. We need to put this at an angle like this. Make sure the screw mount lines up. Okay, and then we're gonna slide this underneath. Okay, get that all lined up. There we go. Make sure we're not smushing anything. And then we gotta line this up here as well. There's the little extruded or protruding part. Okay, Then we're gonna switch, I'm gonna switch back to the PH1 or JS1 screwdriver. We're gonna put this upper screw here first, right? They actually label them, so this is the first one, this is the second one. Tighten that down, and then the third one. All right, make sure those screws are all tightened into place. There we go. All right, again, we're gonna leave the white connector disconnected. So we're only gonna plug in the black connector fan, right? So get this lined up just like that, and then we're gonna pull that into place. You wanna pinch the two pieces, and there we go. All right, we're gonna leave this connector out. Let's go ahead and put the CMOS or BIOS battery back in here. Okay, just like this. Stick that back into place. And I'm gonna move this fan connector over because I don't want it to get into anything. So we're gonna just put it over there. Okay, just like that. All right, let's go ahead now and put back the fan screws here. So we had 3 screws holding this fan down. Okay, so we got this one here. All right, got a second one down here. And the third one up here. Okay, now that we got all of that connected, let's go ahead and reconnect the battery. Okay, so the battery just goes like this. Get it all lined up. Pinch the two pieces together, right? Make sure that it reconnects. There we go. Then we'll just line up the screw holes. You can get these little raised areas to hold it down, all right? And let's go ahead and put back the screws for the battery. Just like this. So again, we disconnected that bad fan. All right. Just get back all these screws. So the fan is actually really easy to replace. Okay. Only thing is you have to redo the thermal paste when you do that, so keep that in mind. All right. Clean that all up. All right, there we go. We got all the screws back in. Now let's go ahead and put the bottom cover back on, and then put back the T5 or Torx 5 screws. All right, so just get this back in. This has little protruding things, so we do have to put that side in first. I'm gonna put it this way so it's easier for me to work on. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna hold the sides here, and then I'm gonna push this with my thumbs to flex that so that I can get those in first down here. Okay, just like that. Once you make sure all of that is in and lined up, okay, and make sure all of these are lining up as well. All right, just like that. Then we can go ahead and push all these clips back down into place. Okay, go ahead, go around, clip everything down. All right, and then let's go ahead and put the T5 or Torx 5 screws back in. Okay. All right, gotta move some stuff out of the way. All right, let's go ahead and put these screws back in. But that's pretty much all there is to this. Hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, again, please like, subscribe, and share my channel with others so that they can also learn how to fix their devices. Thank you for watching. All right. And that's pretty much it. You're welcome to stay while I put back the rest of the screws. All right, that's it. See you later. Bye. Let's drop this.